Good afternoon, everyone. So we are on lesson 15 today in our first unit of phonics, and today is our first spelling test. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can go ahead and get started. Okay. So like I said, we are on lesson 15. So the first thing that we're going to do that we started last week is I am going to read you a sentence. And in that sentence, there are 3 words that we are going to focus on, okay? The sentence is, how many instruments can you hear in this song? I hear a piano, a guitar, and a violin. So think about the word violin. How many syllables are in the word violin? Let's do it together. Violin. How many syllables is that? There's 3. And if you look on the screen, you can see the syllables are broken apart. Vi-o-lin. Good. What is the vowel sound in this first syllable, in the syllable that says vi? It is a long I sound. What's the syllable in the last what's the vowel sound in the last syllable? It is lin. What sound do you hear there? What vowel sound do you hear? I hear a short I. So in the first syllable, we had a long I sound, I, and in the last syllable, we had the short I sound, eh. Good job. All right, so what word would we get if we replaced the lin part of that word with let? Instead of violin, it would be violet. What is that word? Violet. Good. All right, the second word is instruments. How many syllables can you hear? Instruments. Instruments. I hear 3. Do you guys hear 3? Let's break it apart. We have instruments. Let me turn on my laser. Okay, we have instruments. Good job. So we know that we have 3 syllables in that word. How many sounds are in the first syllable? In. There are 2 sounds in the first syllable. Good. What is the vowel sound in this first syllable? The vowel sound. In. Eh, eh, eh. It's the short I sound, the eh. Good. And what is the sound you hear in the what is the first sound you hear in the word instruments? Eh. Instruments. You hear the short I sound. What is the last sound that you hear in the word instruments? Instruments. You hear the S sound, the S. Good, right? Our next word is hear. How many syllables do you hear in the word hear? Hear. I only hear 1. Hear. Good. All right. So I hear the long E sound. Ear, hear. Good. What are some words that you know of that rhyme with hear? What about fear or near or spear or appear or weir or tear or weir, like the contraction weir? Those are all words that rhyme with hear. Okay, so now we are going to do some of our words where we take part of the word away and we make a new word. Our first word is sway. Sway. So we have it broken up. Sway. So we're going to keep the first sound of that word. We're going to keep the S part, and we're going to keep the A part, but we're going to change it and take away the W. So let's do that together. Say. 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 So the new word on the curve is say. Good job. All right, our next word is play. Play. Let's do that one. Let's break it apart. Play. Play. So we're going to keep the first part of that sound, the p part. We're going to keep the A. We're going to change it to take away that L sound. A. 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 What's our new word? Our new word is pay. Pay is the new word on the curve. Good. All right. The next word is snail. 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 Good. So we're going to keep this and we're keep the ale, but we're going to take away that n sound. So our new word is ale. Ale. Our new word is sail. The new word on the curve is sail. Good job. Our next word is slip. 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 Good. All right, so we're going to keep this. We're going to keep the ip. We're going to get rid of that l sound. So our new word is sip. 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 Our new word on the curve is sip. Good job. All right. Our next word is the word twin. 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 Good. We're going to take away that second sound. We're going to take away the w sound. Our new word is tin. 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 Now that's not 10 like the number 10. That's 10 like what aluminum cans are sometimes called a tin can. It's a type of metal. All right. So that is the end of that. So look at this word, guys. If I say war stars, that is mixed up. It's all mixed up. What should it say instead? It shouldn't say war stars. It should say Star Wars. It should say Star Wars. All right, so our learning goals for today. I can complete my spelling test. I can read words with the tricky spelling C. And I can reread the story, The Snack Mix, to build my fluency. All right, so today is our spelling test. And when we take this test, I'm going to read a word out loud to you, and then you are going to use it in a sentence. And I'm going to give you time to write each word. But since you guys are watching the video, you can pause and then hit play again when you're ready to go. And at the end, we're going to go back through the spelling words, and you are going to see if you spell them correctly, okay? I'm not going to do the phrase part. All right, so this is the one time during our week that you will not be allowed to look back to the individual code chart that we have been working on and adding to throughout the last few weeks. So we do not have a worksheet 15.1. What I want you to do is get your Phonics Journal. Okay, get your Phonics Journal. And I want you to turn to page 10. We are on page 10 today. Actually have something I need to mark off first. I made a mistake on my journal. All right, and today is the 21st. Okay, so you need to write, oops, you know what? No, we are not on page 10. We're on page 11. Page 10 was supposed to have your spelling list. So you need to flip it over so that you don't look. And we're on page 11. I apologize for that. And at the top of the page, you need to write spelling test. Okay, spelling test on page 11. This is where you're going to write your words, okay? You need to number your page, just like we did with the spelling list. Put a 1, skip a line, 2, skip a line, 3, skip a line, 4. You understand what I want you to do? We have 10 words. Okay, so you're going to put 1 and skip a line, 2, skip a line, 3, skip a line, 4, skip a line, all the way to 10. All right. Make sure your book is folded over so that you don't see your spelling list, okay? Make sure it's folded over. I don't want you to accidentally have any temptations to look. Okay? So, our first word is the word bandit. Bandit. The bandit stole the snack mix. The cat bandit stole the snack mix. Bandit. And remember, guys, after each word, you can pause your video and finish what you need to do and then push play. Okay? Second word, shelf. He knocked the hot dog off the shelf. Shelf. Number 3, sprang. The cat sprang up on the counter. Sprang. Four, munch. He sure did like to munch on that snack mix. Munch. Number 5, picnic. I bet the cat would love to go on a picnic. Picnic. Number 6, think. I think the cat likes to eat. Think. Number 7, wish. I wish I had a cat like that. Wish. Number 8, drift. The boat would drift down the river. Drift. Number 9, box. The cat used a box to get on the counter. Box. And the last word, the trick, she. She is the best cat ever. She. All right, so take a minute, pause the video, make sure you have all of your words written the way that you want them, and then we're going to go back over it. Okay? Make sure that you have a red or another colored marker so that you can cross out any words that you got wrong. You're not going to erase them. You're just going to put a line through it and spell it correctly beside it. Okay? All right, so our first word was bandit. Bandit. Make sure you have it spelled correctly on your spelling test. Bandit. Our second word was shelf. Shelf. Number 3 was sprang. Sprang. Number 4 was munch. Munch. Number 5 was picnic. Picnic. Number 6, think. 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 Number 7, wish. Wish. Number 8, drift. Drift. Number 9, box. Box. Number 10, she. She. Good job. All right, so go ahead and you can put your journal away. If you missed any of those words, maybe you should practice them a little bit more over the next few days. We will be getting a new spelling list this week, okay? So we are going to learn about the tricky spelling with the letter C today. There are some spellings that can be pronounced or said more than one way. And the letter C is one of those tricky spellings. The letter C can be pronounced with a k, k, k sound, the way that you would normally think that it would be, like the word can and cap and caught, okay? But In order to, but then there are other ways that the word can be pronounced, and that's like with a s sound in the word scent and citrus and cell. And if you come across a word that starts with the letter C or has a C in it, and you don't automatically know what that word is, in order to figure out how to pronounce this tricky word, this tricky spelling, you may have to try sounding it out 2 different ways. So let me read you a sentence. Went too far on my video, hold on. If we look at, think about the word princess. If I say the sentence, the king bought the princess a kitten, we'll say, I don't know the word princess. And so I'm having to stretch it out. And I know that princess, does that sound right? Doesn't sound right. So I would have to try it the other way with the sound. Princess. Princess. Well, I know that word. I've heard that word before. So it has to be the word princess with a sound in it. All right, so let's look at our code chart. We've already gone over several of these spellings. Okay, so here is the scent sound with a C here. So we've circled this one in red, and then we also have the sound. But then if we go up here to the here is our sound like cat. Okay. So we have the sound with the word scent, like in pencil and city. And then we also have the sound, like in the word cat. Which one do you guys think is the most popular? Which one happens most often? The sound or the sound? I think the sound also. So here's what I forgot to tell you this part. So just like we did with our tricky spelling G, how we said that G made the J sound when it was followed by an E or an I, the same thing is true for the C. It makes the sound when it's followed by a short E or a short I sound. So when you're looking, and if it's followed by an E or an I, you should try it with the sound first. Okay, so here is our activity for today, and I do apologize because I accidentally uploaded this a day early. I'm so sorry about that. So some of you may have already done this, and I apologize. So you are going to open it with Cami. Okay, and as you can see, I did this with my other class. If it was a k sound, we underlined it in blue. If it was a sound, we underlined it in red, okay? So the k in can was blue, the k in cap was blue, and the k in caught was blue. And over here we have the s in scent, the s in citrus, and the s in cell. And remember, these are all followed by an E or an I. So we're going to do the same thing down here. If it's got the k sound, we underline it in blue, like in this word right here, cabin, okay? But we underline this one in red because it sounded like a s. And here's that sentence. The king got the princess a kitten. Well, we knew it was princess because we stretched it out already, and we knew that princess was not a real word. So they wrote the word princess under the sound. We slept in a cabin. Well, I know what a cabin is. I've heard that word before, but I know a sabin is not a word. So it had to have been in this column where it sounds like a K. Here's the next one. As the band was singing, she was, let's stretch that one out. Dan King. Does that sound right? Dan King? That doesn't sound right to me. Let's try it a different way. Dancing. That sounds better. That sounds like a word I actually know. Dancing. So we put it under the sound and column. Okay, so here's another one. Mom swept up the dust and here's the word with the C. Cobwebs. Cobwebs. Okay, I know that word, but let me try it the other way. Sobwebs. That doesn't sound right at all. So what would I do here? I'm going to underline the C in blue. Oops, not that fat. I'm going to underline it in blue. And then I'm going to put a text box under the K column and write the word in blue, not red. I'm going to write the word cobwebs. You don't have to do it in blue. You can just do it in black. That's fine. I just thought it was fun in blue. So there are 3 more for you to do. Fill up that cup. He had 6 chances to stop, and Liz spotted a skunk at camp. So you're going to do those 3 on your own today, okay? If you haven't already done it. All right, so it's time to wiggle. Everybody get up and wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. What is our wiggle card for today? It's a stand up tall. Stand up tall and wiggle. All right, that is all for our wiggle card today. We just had one. All right, go ahead and have a seat. We're almost done, guys. We're on our last part, okay? Unfortunately, part of this we're gonna have to skip because they want you to read in a group, and since you guys are all in different places and you're not together, we can't read it in a group. But what you are gonna do is you're going to listen to me reread the story again, and then you are going to read it with a grown-up or another person in your house, okay? So we reread stories to help us with our fluency, okay? It makes us a fluent reader. And the more we read the story, the more expression we can use, and the more we can notice the punctuation marks. So last week, we paid really close attention to some punctuation marks. We paid attention to a question mark and an exclamation point and a period. And these same marks are going to be in our story today. So it's going to be easier to read the story today because it's familiar to you. So you can focus more on reading with expression. Before we get started, let's go over our vocabulary. We learned the word tongs are like something that your family will use in the kitchen to pick things up. And the word swish, like the sound that a basketball makes when it goes through the hoop without touching the rim, just swish. All right, so we're going to skip this part. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to read you the story, the snack mix, again, and then I want you to go back and find it in last week's classwork. I might actually go ahead and move it to this week's for you too, so that you can read it to someone else in your house. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it through the classroom so you can see where I'm getting it from. So it was week 5, the snack mix right here. So we're going to read it together. My nose is super itchy today. Sorry about that. Okay, so remember, we're working on fluency and we're working on paying attention to the punctuation, okay? The snack mix. Beth left a basket of snack mix on a shelf. The cat bandit spotted the snack mix. He felt he had to get it. But how? He sat thinking. Then he got up and ran off to the deck. Look at him. He's just sitting there staring at that bowl of snack mix. He looks like he wants it so bad. He's got this big smile on his face, and he's probably thinking, how can I get that snack mix? The cat bandit got the grilling tongs Dad kept next to the gas grill. He set the tongs up on the rug. Then he went and got a bunch of rocks. He set the rocks on the rug. He got a rock and set it down on the top tong. He set his leg on the top tong to press it down. Then he let the tong spring up. Swish! The rock went zipping off. Bang! The rock hit the shelf, but it did not hit the basket with the snack mix. Look at the picture. Look, see how he's doing it? He's putting the rock here, and he's pushing down with his little paws, and when he lets go, it springs back up, and look what it's doing to the wall. It's putting holes in the wall. The bandit set a rock on the tongs and shot it. Swish, bang, swish, bang, swish, bang. The bandit shot 6 rocks, but the rocks did not hit the basket of snack mix. At last, swish, smack! The 7th rock hit the basket. The basket fell down. It landed on the rug. The rug was dotted with snack mix. Then, chomp, chomp, chomp. That was the end of the snack mix. Look how happy he is. He got all the snack mix. Happy little kitty. All right, so what we are going to do before you go read the story on your own is we are going to find some of the onomatopoeias. Okay. So in your phonics journal, on page 12 today, we are going to write the onomatopoeias that we have found in this story so far. I left my gray marker at school. That's not good. So we are going to write the onomatopoeias. And remember, guys, an onomatopoeia is a word that tries to imitate a sound, like a real sound, okay? So we're going to write the word, and this is a tricky word to spell. So we're going to spell it on the top. Make sure we put today's date, 9/21, and it's O-N, O-M-A-T-O-P-O-E-I-A. And I strongly suggest you pause the video to write this word down and then push play when you're ready to move on. All right, so the onomatopoeias, I think there were about 6 onomatopoeias in this story. Let's go back and see if we can find them. All right, remember an onomatopoeia is a word that is imitating an actual sound. So I'm looking, I don't see anything on this page. Let's look on this page. What about this word? Does this make it sound like an actual sound? Swish. That should be our first onomatopoeia. We should put the word swish. That should be our first one. What about right underneath it? There's another one. What is that one? It's the word bing. That's another onomatopoeia. Those are both sounds, words that try to mimic a sound. Oh, there they are again. Swish, bang, swish, bang, swish, bang. Oh, there's another one. Swish, smack, smack. There we go. Swish, smack. Awesome. All right. And here's one more. What's this one? Chomp, chomp, chomp. That's another one. The word chomp. Okay, so that is the end of our story. So there are only 4 onomatopoeias in this part of the story. We have swish, bang, smack, and chomp. So pause the video, get these written on page 12. I put my own page number down there. Page 12, onomatopoeias. Get those written down and then push play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so we took our first spelling test today. Congratulations, by the way, on that. I'm sure that you did fabulous. And then we worked on finding some onomatopoeias. We found 4. We're going to try to go back throughout the story, maybe one story at a time, and find some other onomatopoeias from the first 2 or 3 stories. Okay, so we are all done for today. What you need to do for the rest of phonics class is reread the story, the snack mix. If you have extra time, reread the chicken nugget, reread the hot dog, reread all of those stories to a grown-up or an older sibling in your house, or even a younger sibling. That's fine. Okay, and maybe while you're reading the hot dog and the chicken nugget, try to see if you can find some of the other onomatopoeias. That way you can have them ready when we do those stories. All right, so you guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.